Alright, here we go. So welcome everyone. My name is Judith. So I just saw in the stream, in the text stream, that somebody is streaming for the first time or watching a live stream for the first time. It's actually my first time too. I'm quite excited to be here. So for the next hour, we will do some gentle yoga together. We will start sitting. So grab whatever is available for you and make a comfortable seat. So for me, a bolster is doing well. It gives me some height. My hips feel often a little bit tight. So when they're up, it helps me to release the hip flexors a little bit. And this first part also can be done sitting on a chair. So finding your comfortable seat, wiggling a little bit in your sitting bones, and then finding length in your spine. So just arriving for now, maybe closing your eyes and checking in how you feel. And then let's bring one hand to the chest and one hand to the belly. And then let's check in with the breath. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. If not so much, you maybe just keep the eyes half open. And then feel your breath. Noticing your inhale and noticing your exhale. So as you inhale, let your belly gently expand, and then also the ribs and the chest. And when you exhale, let the breath just go. So breathing without tension, no strain, but inviting the breath in for every round of breath. Maybe inviting the breath to become a little bit fuller, a little bit bigger. Without strain, finding your rhythm. Take a few more breaths. Either keep the hands on your chest, on your belly, or release the hands. So feeling how the breath moves you. It's like a wave starting from the belly, going through the ribs up into the chest. And also it empties you out from the belly, from the ribs, from the chest. So the Sanskrit name or word for breath is prana, and that's the same as life force. So life force is what keeps you going, gives you energy. It influences everything, what you do, what you think, what you feel. And so many things actually influence prana. So whatever you put into your body, the food, the drinks, medication, but also what you do with your body, like sleep, exercise, work. But when we connect to the breath, that's actually the easiest way to animate our body, to animate prana, to animate the life force. So let's open with one round of Om. So releasing the arms, and then with an inhale, lift your arms up, and then with an exhale, bring the hands to your heart. And then let's exhale again. And inhale fully, you're welcome to join. Releasing the arms. And then And from here, let's move with the breath. So with an inhale, we're lifting the arms up. And then with an exhale, lowering the arms down. So do that a few rounds. So with an inhale, find length, so reach up. And then with an exhale, lower the arms. Make it yours. So reaching up any amount, noticing how it feels in your shoulders, the arms. And with an exhale, palms down, lowering the shoulders, but keeping some length in your spine. And let's do one more. And from here, let's come to a side bend. So I'm mirroring you. So let's lean over towards the right side. And then with an inhale, lifting the arm up. Maybe bringing that arm over your head. If that doesn't work for your shoulder, maybe you have a cactus arm. But if it works for you, reach. Take another breath. So with an exhale, we're bringing the arm back down. And then with an inhale, we lift up, reach a little bit more. And then exhale, coming down. And then let's do two more. So inhale, reaching over. Maybe you look forward, maybe you look down. Check in how your neck feels and move with the rhythm of your breath. And then the next time the arm is over your head, then here with your next exhale, let's bring that upper shoulder forward, the arm forward, reaching over. And then with an inhale, we're lifting back up, leaning a little bit back if that feels good. And then exhale, coming forward, reaching. And then inhale, lifting up. So do a few of these and then notice how it feels. Maybe the eyes are closed. Maybe you come into this side stretching, twisting a little bit deeper. Maybe not so deep. So check in what is true for yourself today. Sometimes less is more. Let's do one more round. Next time you're up, reaching up. Taking a few moments here, wiggling in your sitting bones, checking in. And coming over towards the other side. So just checking in with the shoulder, the reach, the arm, how does it feel? And then finding the movement with the breath. So with an exhale, lowering that arm halfway down. And with an inhale, reaching up, maybe coming a little bit deeper into the stretch. Maybe not. So find your rhythm. Maybe close your eyes. Find softness in your neck. So whatever your movement is, don't let it be rigid. Notice your breath. And here notice how this side feels different than the first side. Let's do one more here. And when you're over, leaning towards your left side now, with your next exhale, bringing that upper shoulder, the right shoulder forward, down, maybe looking down. And then with an inhale, leaning back up, maybe leaning a little bit back. And then with an exhale, coming more forward. So move on your own. Move with your breath. Let's do two more rounds. Arms back up, lifting up. if you like, you can change the cross of your legs or modify your sitting. And then let's move through cat and cow. So with the hands gliding over the knees, with an exhale we're rounding the spine. And then with an inhale we're lifting back up, opening the chest. Exhale, rounding, rolling over your sitting bones. And then with an inhale, lifting up, rolling forward. Bring the shoulder blades more together. And then go on your own. Find your own rhythm. Feeling your body. Noticing your breath. If you're familiar with Ujjayi breath, you can breathe your Ujjayi breath. That is when you restrict the back of your throat. It slows down the breath. And so it helps to slow down the movement. Let's do one more round. And we lift up. Alright. So from here we do one more sitting pose. So we bring our arms in genie arms, so just one arm on top of the other. We release shoulders. And then with your next exhale, bringing the arms over towards your right side, turning the upper body. With an inhale, coming back to center. And then with an exhale, coming over towards the other side. The inhale brings you to center. And the exhale brings you into a twist. Coming back to center, breathing. So keep moving. And let the head move also into the direction of your arms. Notice how it feels. And now when we do 2 more rounds, maybe you go a little bit deeper, letting the head turn even more, if this feels good in your body. We do 1 more round here. We're coming back to center, releasing the arms, and then let's do a few shoulder circles. Rolling, lifting the shoulders, moving them, going the other way. Alright, coming back to genie arms, and this time we change the arms, so bring the other arm up. You still come over towards the right side first, but then turn your head towards the left shoulder. With an inhale, we're coming back to center. And then with an exhale, we're coming over towards the other side. Notice if your shoulders are up towards the ears, bring them down. And then find your rhythm. And explore how much you want to turn your head, how it feels. Do you feel or notice the same range of motion when you come to the right and when you come towards the left? Also, is there some tightness on one side a little bit more than on the other? Maybe you do this movement with closed eyes. Let's do 1 more round. And we release. Let's do more shoulder circles. This time, one after the other, a little bit more bicycling. And the other way. Alright. From here we come to our hands and knees. So moving, drop to the side. If you like for your knees to get a blanket, then please grab one. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, and the knees underneath the hips. We move a few times through cat and cow. So with an exhale, we're rounding the spine. The chin goes to the chest. And then with an inhale, opening the chest, arching the spine, gently lifting the head. So the exhale lets you come into cat. And the inhale into cow. So do a few more on your own. Notice what's going on in your spine. When you come in with an inhale into an arching, lead from the chest. So notice how your head is moving. Is that flinging a lot? Or can you just let the head gently follow the spine? Like when this movement starts from the tailbone, going through the middle back, the upper back, and then up to the chest. So the head goes, lifts and lowers in a gentle way. Back to neutral spine. We bring the hands a little bit more forward. We spread all the fingers. So hands are shoulder width apart, maybe even a little bit more. And then let's tuck toes under and we lift up, and we lift up to a downward facing dog. When you're downward facing dog, maybe you first move your dog a little bit, bending one knee, pressing the other heel down, and then switching. And then find some stillness. So let the heels reach down. They don't have to touch. Knees can be bent. They also can be bent a lot. So especially when you feel you rounding your forward, bend the knees a little bit more, reach the hips back, finding length. And maybe then you straighten the legs a little bit more. So our first goal in downward facing dog is to find a straight spine. A long, straight spine. Take another breath. Feel how you ground into the hands. Reaching the heels down. And then let's bring the knees down and we come into child's pose. So bringing the hips back towards the heels. If they don't come down, what you can do is you can try to widen the knees a little bit more, reaching then back with the hips. Often that helps. If the head does not come to the ground, then maybe you stack hands. Maybe you even bump fists. And whatever is comfortable. Maybe your forehead is on the hands. Maybe you turn the head to the side. Take a few breaths. And just feel your body. So the breath helps to combine the body, to unite the body with our mind. Or the other way actually, the mind with the body. So by feeling the body, we're connecting to our inner self. It's more like knowing, not so much thinking. Take another breath. And from here, releasing the hands, breath. Steady breath, finding maybe a little bit more of that external rotation of your upper arms, creating space around the neck. And then slowly walk your feet forward. And we come to a forward fold. Feet about hip width apart. Knees can be bent. Letting the upper body hang. So maybe you grab opposite elbows, swaying maybe a little bit from side to side. Shaking your head no and yes. And then from here, bend the knees a lot, release the arms,
And then let's roll up. So the belly pulls in, tailbone goes down, and we lift up to a standing. So finding your mountain pose. So mountain pose, feet about hip width apart, like more the hip joints. Lifting into the crown of the head, drawing the shoulders slightly back, lifting a little bit from the chest. And then from here, let's lift all the toes, spreading them, so you create your inner arches. Feel them, how you ground into all the mounds of the toes. And then let's bring the pinkies down first, and then all of the other toes. Big toes are lifted, and we bring them down. And then again, we lift the big toes, spread all the toes, lifting them up, one after the other. Again, feel our inner arches, and then we bring the toes down. Let's lift the heels, coming down, lifting the toes. Again, lifting the heels, maybe you lift your arms up. Exhale, releasing the arms, bringing the heels down. And then again, let's lift up, any amount, and let's stay here. So maybe the arms are wider, maybe they're wide completely to have this balance. Maybe you hang on to a chair. But find some reaching, find length, notice your breath, notice the stretch in your feet. Take another breath and release. All right. From here, let's come to the front of the mat and we do, work with a half sun salutation. So with an inhale, we're lifting the arms. And then with an exhale, we come to a forward fold. So first there's a straight spine and then we round. The knees can always be bent. Inhale, we're lifting halfway, hands on the legs, gently looking forward. Exhale, we fold, knees can bend, we round. And then with an inhale, we're lifting up all the way, bringing the arms up. Maybe you look up if that feels good. And with an exhale, bring the hands to our heart and to our side. And we do one more. Inhale, we're lifting up the arms. Exhale, we come to a forward fold, leading from the chest, hinging from the hips. Then inhale, we're lifting halfway, opening the chest. Exhale, we fold. And then inhale, we're lifting up all the way. Bring the arms up. And then with an exhale, we bring the hands to our heart. And release. From here, let's come to a warrior one pose. I'm stepping my left foot forward, the right foot back. And for warrior one, we want to have the hips a little bit more forward. Often, like when you landed in one line, bringing that right foot a little bit more out can help to level the hips a little bit more forward. So checking in, so finding the right distance that works for you. We want to bring the front knee over the heel and the back heel down. So in case it's not reaching down, it can help to bring the back foot a little bit more out. Alright. So let's lift the toes, the toes of the front foot, create your inner arch and bring the toes down. And then find grounding back into your back heel. And then find a little bit of a lift in your belly. Tailbone comes down. And then when you're ready, lift your arms. Soften the shoulders a little bit. Feel your feet, a strong warrior. And then let's move with the breath. So with the next exhale, bringing the arms halfway down. With an inhale, open the chest. And then with an exhale, release. Inhale, lifting up all the way, whatever that means for you. Exhale, the arms halfway down. Inhale, open. Let's do one more. Moving with the breath. So inhale, lifting up. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, open. And exhale. And release. From here, let's step forward. Shake the legs a little bit. Release. might just step the other foot back, or actually I'm doing that as well. So now stepping the left foot back, now my right. Just do the other leg. Alright. So now for me, my right foot is back and the left foot is forward. So feet are on 2 tracks again, that helps with the low back. Bending that front knee, grounding into the back foot. Finding a little bit of support from the belly so the tailbone comes down. We don't want to overarch that low back. And then lifting the toes of the front foot and bring them down. And then when you're ready, lifting arms, any amount. So feel your warrior 1 grounding into the feet. Engagement of your abdominals. And the breath. And with your next exhale, bringing the arms halfway down. Inhale, maybe now a little bit of a back bend when you open up. And then exhale, coming down. And so 2 more rounds. You can go with your breath. Let's lift arms one more time. Releasing the arms, and we step forward, and we come back to our mountain pose. Finding that length, grounding, feeling our body. And then let's do one more half sun salutation to the front of the mat. So with an inhale, we're lifting arms. And then with an exhale, a forward fold. Inhale, we're lifting halfway, finding length. Exhale, we fold. And then inhale, lifting up all the way. Maybe looking up, maybe not. And exhale, hands to your heart and to your side. Inhale, we're lifting up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees a lot, bring your hands down, and then step back to a downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. Finding length. Now we find our way down on your belly. And you have a couple of choices. Maybe you bring the knees down right away and you land on the belly. Or if you're up for it, maybe you come forward to plank. In plank, we have the shoulders over the hands, tailbone long. The knees down, but keeping the tailbone long. Knees down counts as well. Maybe you stay here for 1 breath, maybe for 3. And then eventually we all bring the knees down. We all land on the belly. And then from here, let's stack the hands. We bring the forehead down and then soften your whole body. Feel how you breathe into your belly. Soften the shoulders. And then from here we keep the hands on top of each other, and then we do a few cobra lifts. So with your next inhale, we're lifting the right hand, or we're lifting the top hand with the head and lifting the opposite leg. And with an exhale, we come down and we stay on the same side. So whatever hand is on top, we're lifting that hand, we're lifting the head, and we're lifting the opposite leg. Any amount. Let's do 2 more. So there's a lot of length. And then when you're down, wiggling, softening. And then let's switch arms. So bringing the other hand on top. Now with your next inhale, lifting that hand with the head lifting the opposite leg. And then with an exhale, coming down. We do 3 more. So go on your own, feel how this side feels different than the other. Move with your breath. And then soften down, release. Maybe wiggle the hips. From here we bring the hands underneath the shoulders. If the hands land more forward, the elbows are down, glide them a little bit more back, bringing the forehead down. So the elbows reach back. Now first feel how you lift your shoulder heads and squeeze your shoulder blades together, reaching them together and down. Spread all your toes, bring the tips of the toes down. And then with an inhale, we're lifting up to a low cobra. And then with an exhale, we're coming down. Inhale, lifting up any amount. Pull your lower belly in, and then exhale, lowering. Let's do one more here. Inhale. And exhale. And then we keep moving. So with the next inhale, turn over, lifting up and turn over your right shoulder. And then exhale, coming down, lowering. Inhale, we're lifting up. And we turn, we look over the other shoulder. Exhale, we're coming down. Let's do one more round. Inhale, we lift up. Turning the head, it's a long neck. And then exhale, we come down. And then inhale, we lift up. Turning the head, looking over the other shoulder. And then with an exhale, we come down. So release the hands, bend the knees. And let your feet dangle from side to side. Releasing the legs down, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, lifting up. And then coming into a child's pose. So your version of child's pose. Wiggling the hips. Take another breath. And lifting up, back to tabletop. And back to downward facing dog. Take another breath. From here, we're lifting the right leg with an inhale, finding some length. And then we bring that right foot forward with an exhale. Maybe you give it a lift. We bring the back knee down. Maybe you grab a blanket for your knee. Maybe you also bring a block to the front. So from here we lift up, bringing the hands on the knees, on that front knee. Now making sure that there's a good distance between the front foot and the back knee. And then with an exhale, let's sink into the hips, any amount. And then with an inhale, let's come back out. Let's do 2 more, so sinking forward and lifting up. Again, let's come forward, lifting up. And then the next time you're forward, you're staying here, then can you pull in the belly a little bit more, finding a little bit more length from the tailbone. Spreading all the back toes, rounding into the front toes, maybe lifting them, spreading them. Keeping the hands here on the knees, maybe bring the arms out to the side, maybe lifting the arms up. So whatever your lunge looks like, keep a steady breath. Notice what you feel in your body. From here, let's release the hands and we come into a twist. So you can bring your left hand underneath the shoulder, maybe you use a block. And then lifting the right shoulder up. Right hand can stay on your low back, maybe you bring the arm up. And then any variation. Maybe you tuck the back toes under, maybe you lift the back knee, maybe you stay down. Take another breath. Bringing the hand down, moving the block to the side, lifting back up into a downward facing dog, maybe a child's pose. 3 breaths, either in child's pose or downward facing dog. When you're ready, from child's pose, coming back into downward facing dog. And then switching legs. So with your next inhale, lifting the left leg or your other leg. And then bringing the leg forward, any amount. Coming forward, bring the back knee down. Maybe the blanket underneath the knee, lifting up. If you're a little bit wobbly, you can also widen the stand a little bit. And then let's sink into the hips. Coming out. Coming back in. And one more. And the next time you're forward, spreading all the toes of that front foot, the back foot, pressing them down, finding a little bit of engagement in the belly, long tailbone, and any variation of the arms. So lifting from the chest. Maybe arms lift as well. Feeling your prana, feeling your breath. And releasing the arms, coming into the twist, the right hand goes down, maybe use a block. Lifting the left shoulder, maybe keeping the left hand on the low back or lifting it up. You can look up, you can look forward, you can look down. Take another breath. And from here we bring the hand down. Bring the block to the side. And then we step forward anyway, coming back to a forward fold. Maybe again crossing forearms, swaying from side to side. And then releasing the arms, bending the knees a lot, hollowing the belly, rolling up. Okay, coming back to a standing. From here we widen the feet. We come into a wide-legged forward fold. So outside of the feet are parallel. You can bring the hands on the hips, lifting all the toes, spreading them, creating your inner arches, and then bringing the toes down. So grounding into the feet, lifting up. Either keeping the hands on the hips, or you interlock fingers behind your back, or you have a strap or a towel. And then with an exhale, come to a forward fold. Hands can stay on the low back, they can lift up. Release your neck. Take another breath. Feel how you ground into your feet. Notice how your breath feels when the upper body is upside down. Take one more breath. Bring the hand to the hips, squeeze the legs. And then from here, let's lift up with a straight spine. So the knees can be bent, lifting up. And come back to a standing. Alright. Coming back to our mountain pose. And then from here we find our way down. So laying down on our back, Having the knees bent. And first again, check in. Maybe you bring a hand on the belly, a hand on the chest, feeling your breath. And then from here, widen your feet. If it feels good, maybe you bring your arms over your head. But in case the shoulders are up, widen the arms a little bit more. And then let's come into a windshield wiper. So the knees go from side to side. Maybe you let the head turn to the opposite side. And maybe every time the knees go to the side, you press them down a little bit more. Maybe you do this slow, or maybe you do this very slow. And then maybe you add a little bit more, so when the knees are over towards your left side, then press into that right foot and let that right hip lift up a little bit. And then you come back to center. The knees go over towards the other side, and then you press into that outer foot, letting that hip lift up a little bit more. So with an inhale coming, bringing the knees to the side, maybe a little bit of this arching, the hips lift up. With an exhale back to center. With an inhale over towards the other side. Do another round. Notice how that feels in your hips. And we come back to center. So here we walk the feet a little bit more in, and we work a little bit more with the spine. So with your next exhale, pull your belly in and press that low back flat. And then with an inhale, arch your spine. So there's some space between the spine and the ground. And then with an exhale, it's like a cat. The belly pulls in, the tailbone lifts a little bit. And with an inhale, arch your spine, lifting the mid-spine away from the ground. So do a few more of these. Notice how they feel. You can support this by also engaging the legs. So with your next exhale, when the belly pulls in and the tailbone, the long low back is down, press a little bit more into your heels. And then with an inhale, when you arch your spine, maybe the feet get a little bit lighter. So notice what your range of motion is. Notice the quality of the movement. And then from here, keep moving. And then the next time you pull the belly in, the tailbone is long. Let's lift the hips up and your mount, coming into a bridge lift. And then coming down, rolling down, tailbone tucks under, and you land the low back. And then you come into the arching of the spine. The belly pulls in, the tailbone comes down, the low back presses, the tailbone starts to lift. We lift up, we roll up the spine. And then to reverse, we come down. Tailbone is tucked under, belly pulls in. We land on the low back, we land on the tailbone. Now the low back moves away from the ground. And let's do a few more of these bridge rolls. So we're lifting up. Now when you're at the top of your bridge, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then release the shoulder blades and roll down. Rolling down your spine. Let's do two more of these. So lifting up, rolling up. Squeezing the shoulder blades together when you're on the top of your bridge lift, whatever that means. And exhale, coming down. And do one more. Lifting up. Squeezing and release. And and we come back down. Back to a windshield wiper, so feet go wide, arms wherever they want to go, and you let the knees go from side to side. Back to center, moving the heels again underneath your knees, and then bringing the arms along your body. Still working a little bit more with the movement in the spine. So with an inhale, arching your spine. This time let's bring the arms over your head. And then with an exhale, pull your belly in around your spine. And if it works for you, lift your head, reaching the arms forward. And then inhale, lifting back up, arching your spine. And then with an exhale, coming forward, reaching any amount. Let's do 3 more, moving with your breath, feeling the movement in your spine, feeling the engagement in your belly. Let's do 1 more. And release. Open the knees wide, bring the soles of the feet together, find bound ankle pose. So now a soft belly, breathing into your belly and exhaling from the belly. So coming back to your full yogic breath. Take about 3 more breaths. Maybe your eyes are closed. Checking in. Now either you stay here, or maybe you engage your belly a little bit more. So bringing the knees back up, or the knees up, lifting the feet as well. Your arms can go out in a T, if you have the room, or in a cactus. For this one, let's bring the palms down. Now if the palms or the arms are all the way up, bring the hands a little bit more down. Now with your next exhale, pull your belly in and feel how your low back presses down. And then with an inhale, engage your belly. So keep the belly engaged, breathing more into the chest. And again, exhale, the belly pulls in even more. And then with an inhale, we're breathing more into the chest. So the belly, we keep the abdominals engaged. If that feels good in your body and for your mind. And then with the next exhale, now bringing the knees over towards your right side, any amount. Keep the shoulders down. And then inhale, keeping the belly engaged, coming back to center. Exhale, over towards the other side. And then inhale, back to center. Moving with your breath. Bringing the knees down any amount. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Try to keep the shoulders down. If you want, you can turn the head towards the opposite side. You also can bring the knees, if it feels good, a little bit more towards the arm. Towards the arm you're moving to. Gently press your feet together. Feel how your abdominals are engaged. Noticing the stretch along the spine or along the back. Go for another round. And then when you're done, coming back to center, bound ankle pose. Arms wherever they want to go. Whatever works for your body. Again, breathe into your belly. Softening your belly. Coming back to the full yogic breath. Breathing into the belly, the ribs and the chest. From here, let's bring the knees up. Grounding now the heels a little bit more underneath your knees. And now we work on one or two bridges, and you have the choice. So if you like to come into a supported bridge, you can grab a block or maybe just a cushion or a rolled blanket. You can lift the hips up and bring that block, the cushion or whatever underneath your sacrum and release the sacrum down. So the block does not go underneath the low back. It should feel very comfortable. And the block has 2 or actually 3 different settings. So maybe you stay here for a couple of breaths and just enjoy the supported bridge. Or if you like to work or do an active bridge, so when the feet are pointing forward, they're hip width apart, we're grounding down. We press into the hands, we press into the feet, and we lift the hips up. You can use a block between your legs. You also can imagine a block between the legs, gently hugging the legs. Feeling how your chest lifts up towards the chin. So we keep a little bit of a curve in the neck. Keep breathing. Take one more breath. And then from here, lifting the arms over your head, lifting the heels, and then rolling down with your vertebrae, one after the other. Coming down. Taking a breath, softening. And maybe now you come into a supported bridge. Maybe you do one more round of back bends, doing here bridge or whatever back bend works for you. Maybe you feel like you want to come into a wheel, even that is a gentle class, make it your yoga. So for active bridge, so we adjust the feet again, so ideally the heels are underneath the knees, arms press down, we're lifting up, taking a few breaths. Steady breath, feeling how you ground into your feet, to the inside as well as the outside. And then to come out, arms over your head, lifting the heels and slowly roll out, roll down all the way. And then widen the feet again. So in case you're on your supported bridge, lift the hips, take the block out and slowly lower down as well, and then widen your feet again, coming back into a windshield wiper. From here back to center, we bring the knees to the chest, wrap the arms around. Let's pull the knees a little bit towards the chest, so lengthening the tailbone, the low back. If it works for you, maybe you curl up to a little ball, pressing the knees into your arms. Take another breath. And release. Releasing the left leg, bring the right foot up. Let's draw a few circles with that right foot. Going the other way. And then point the foot and flex it. Point and flex. And then bring that right foot in front of the left knee. And here you have a couple of choices. So maybe you stay here in your figure 4 with the left leg down. And then you can press that right knee away from the right shoulder. Just with the strength of your leg. And finding a stretch this way for the outer right hip. Or you lift the left leg, maybe interlock fingers around the leg, and you lean back down, opening the chest. Maybe here you roll a little bit from side to side. And notice whatever sensations are coming up in your body, especially around your hips. Then release. And we're switching sides. So first bringing the left leg up. Let's draw a few circles from the ankle, going the other way. We point the foot and flex it. Point and flex. We keep it flexed. Bringing that left foot now in front of the right knee, either finding the resisted stretching, reaching that left knee away from the left shoulder, or maybe bringing the right leg up. So you figure 4, now stretching the outer left hip by T-bend. Notice how this side feels different than the other. Maybe also come a little bit into rolling from side to side. Take another breath. And then release. From here we come into a spinal twist. We bring the arms out. Maybe a cactus. You can do any twist that works for you. Maybe twisting over a straight leg. Or maybe you just come into easy twist. So bring the knees to the chest. And then bringing the knees up towards your right arm. So when you bring it up towards the arm, there's a little bit of rounding of the low back, so a stacking of the hips. And if it's, so bringing the arm, the left arm then out into a T. And if that feels good, allow that arm to hang. It might give you a nice stretch in the front of the left chest, in front of the shoulder. But in case your arm doesn't like that, bring the arm in. And just let the shoulders sink down. Turning the head towards the left side. If that's not working, maybe you have a block underneath your legs. So make it your twist. Spinal twist. Finding or modifying the pose so it works for you, that you can sink into the ground without holding on. Take another breath. And from here, slowly we find our way back to center. Maybe wiggling a little bit. And when you're ready, come towards your other side. So if it's easy twist, bring the knees up towards the arm. So finding that rounding in the low back, the stacking of the hips, maybe the block or a blanket underneath the legs, checking in with the opposite arm now, the right arm. So making it yours, modifying in any way so you can again sink into the ground. It's a passive twist. So finding a soft belly, breathing. And slowly find your way back to center. And then from here, any last movement before we come into Shavasana. So maybe you do a heavy baby pose, grabbing the feet from the outside, widening the knees. Maybe you spread your legs, any amount, maybe one after the other. Maybe you hug in, roll up again to a little ball. Maybe here you do a spinal forward fold where you pull your legs towards the upper body. Maybe the head lifts, knees can be bent. And release. And then from here, find your way into Shavasana. So straightening the legs, bring the arms along the body, sinking down. And then make fists, tighten arms, legs, your whole body, and release. And again, making fists, tightening arms, legs, your whole body, make faces, and release. Letting the feet roll to the outside. If you feel your low back, you can bend the knees. You also can use bowls underneath the knees. Maybe you cover yourself with a blanket. And then enjoy Shavasana. Enjoy the stillness in your body and in your mind. I will come up to sitting and I will call you back when it's about time. Take a deep inhale and a long exhale. Inhale all the way in and hold your breath. And softly exhale all the way out. Bring movement back into your body. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Turn your head from side to side. And then bring your arms over your head and come into a full body stretch. Then bend your knees one at a time and roll towards your favorite side. And when you're ready, lift up to a sitting, any sitting. Let's bring the hands to our heart, and we're closing with one round of Om. Let's all exhale and fully inhale.
let's remember that we always have the choice to come back to our breath. Namaste.